This is John Black, Super Chemist. This is what I'm going to use. SuperTech antifreeze coolant. It's basically the only thing they have at the store. So when I got home, I looked up the MSDS. The earliest one I can get is 2011. As you can see, what I want is 80 to 96%. There might be 0 to 8% diethylene glycol, also 0 to 20% miscellaneous. So you can see the boiling points here. If it's 80%, I used about a little over half of a round bottom flask that was 500 milliliters. So that's 260 times 80% times 96%. See how I'm doing that? So the ethylene glycol is somewhere between 208 and 250 milliliters. Now when I did this, the first 30 milliliters, I boiled out between 100 and 190 degrees C. Now my thermometer goes up to like 600 Celsius or something like that, so they're not that accurate. I did boil out the ethylene glycol at 190 degrees the entire time. I did boil it fast. I went at like 1 drip per second, but it took me so long to get the temperature up to 200, it was unreal. So I left that other MSDS in there. After the video though, I checked again just to make sure. I did find a MSDS for 2017. I left the other one in there so you can see that they do change the formula for things, you know, products from year to year. So I always try to get the most recent MSDS. Now this is 2017. You can't get better than that. You can see it's an even better ratio or better formula than the 2011 one was. You got the same amount here, 80 to 95%. These two, though, are salts of acid. See, they're sodium salts of carboxylic acid, so they're just solids. And diethylene glycol, that's 0 to 5%. That's like nothing. So this is basically all ethylene glycol. I did bring it over at 190. I don't know why. Unless maybe those salts affected it in some way, but usually a salt makes the boiling point rise higher. But like I said, my thermometer goes up to 600, 500 C. Those kind of thermometers aren't that accurate once they get up so high, or at least in my opinion. I don't really know. But it did stay at 190 the entire time that I distilled, so it wasn't like it gradually went up or went down. So it has to be, I mean, it's all pretty much all ethylene glycol anyway. So, and here's my setup. Keep in mind, you should never have this much in here. You need to be below half filled, and that's a little bit above half filled. But screw it. So I'm doing it simple distillation. Got a small condenser because that stuff has a high boiling point. You don't need much cooling to condense it. So I'm going to start it up, and here we go. Well, it finally started boiling. You can see that condensation up there. So there must be a little water in there, some low boiling stuff. Just want to get that out first. See, I traded it over. It's my receiving flask. Once it gets up to so high, I'll take that out and put the round bottom back in there. I tell you, it took forever to get this to boil. Now the still head's about 180 degrees. You can see the beads are starting to go away. More beads are starting to start up here. So you can see this must be the water or whatever. Once it gets out of there, we can start changing our flask over. Well, here's what I got up all the way up to 190 degrees C. Started at 100 C, so I'm guessing it's water. And now I'm going to start boiling out the other stuff at 190. Even though that's 10 degrees below the temperature it's supposed to come over. That's coming over about 190 degrees right now. But my thermometer isn't exactly the greatest. I don't know if you can notice it, but instead of beads, it's more like runny uh, oil up here. So you can really tell it's different. Well, it's starting to foam up. So I stopped it. I got a good bit though. That's a 250 milliliter flask. So there's at least 200 milliliters in there probably. And always remember, science is great.